Good evening, hockey fans, and welcome on into the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Lots to get into tonight. The NHL trade deadline was Friday. We'll go over any big moves that happened. Big matchup tonight, Florida and Dallas. Panthers versus Stars. Plus 10 other games to watch. Florida and Dallas possibly being a Stanley Cup preview. But yeah, 10 other games tonight. We'll keep you updated throughout the show. Cale Makars' first career hat trick. Thatcher Demko out 2 to 4 weeks. John Tortorella out 2 games for other reasons. Moving on, we'll also do a college hockey update as well as a wild card update. So let's get ready to play some hockey, stay out of the boards, protect your 5-hole, and let's light the lamp. Let's go! Good evening and welcome on into the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Zach Publis. Adam Canuck will be along in a little bit tonight. Lots to get into tonight. Like we talked about, we're going to do some trade deadline updates, see who got traded here, there, and everywhere. Some big matchups tonight, 10 different games throughout the league, plus some injury news and personal best news and suspension news, as well as college hockey updates, and we're going to look at the standings and see who's in position for the wild cards. So without further ado, let's get into it tonight. Hope you're all having a good night. If you're listening on Spreaker, you can hop in the chat room and follow along with us and our shenanigans. We'll try to keep this on the rails. Well, mostly. Okay, NHL scores. Here we go tonight. Around the league. My Red Wings are getting destroyed by the Sabres. Oof. 7-2 in the third. Canadians are up on the Blue Jackets 3-0. That is in the third as well. About halfway through the third, we got Penguins and Senators tied 0-0. Wow, that one could go to overtime. Sharks and Flyers tied 2-2 in the third. Rangers up 1-0 over the Hurricanes. That's 11 minutes and 33 seconds into the third. Stars and Panthers, there's the game of the night. Stars lead that one 1-0 in the second, with about 5 minutes gone in that period. Wild and the Coyotes, Wild are up 1-0 in the second. Ducks and Blackhawks are tied 1-1. That is in the first with about just under 3 minutes left to go. And Avalanche and Flames just dropped the puck a couple seconds ago. And still yet to come tonight, we get the two newbies playing each other again. Should become fast friends, fast foes. Golden Knights and Kraken. That one starts in about an hour here. So, yeah, lots of action going on tonight. We'll keep you updated with all those different games going on throughout the night. All right, first thing, I had one left over from last week I found. Cale Makars got his first career hat trick as he propelled the Avs to victory. Cale Makars and Nathan MacKinnon said farewell Wednesday to a good friend who was traded away. Then they went to work. Makars had his first career hat trick. MacKinnon extended his home point streak to 31 games with a goal and 3 assists, and the Colorado Avalanche beat my Red Wings 7-2 Wednesday night. Sadness. This performance came hours after the Avalanche made 2 trades, including one that sent popular defenseman Bowen Byram to Buffalo. Quote, one of my best friends, and he will be for life, Makars said. Just put emotions aside and focus on the task at hand. End quote. Well, Makars did just that, recording the 4th hat trick by a defenseman in franchise history. He joined Sandis Ozulinsh, Owe Krupp, and Brian Fogarty, according to NHL stats. Makars also had an assist. Quote, I've never really had an experience like that in my career, Makars said, of hats being thrown onto the ice in his honor. The bigger thing is we got the win. MacKinnon had his second straight 4-point game. He has an NHL leading 109 points. Quote, tonight we played really well, MacKinnon said. Under difficult circumstances, before the game, Colorado picked up defenseman Sean Walker from Philadelphia and center Casey Middlestead from Buffalo. 2 big additions who can help with the playoff push. Still, it was hard for MacKinnon to see Byram go. Quote, great friend, MacKinnon said. We'll miss him. We'll miss his personality. Arturi Lehkonen, Jonathan Drouin, and Jean-Luc Foundy also scored. It was the first NHL goal for Foundy, who was called up from the Colorado Eagles of the AHL, along with Andre Pavel, with Walker and Middlestead unable to arrive in time. Mikko Rantanen finished the game with 4 assists for the Avalanche, while Alexander Georgiev stopped 27 shots for his 32nd win. For the Red Wings, Robbie Fabry and David Perron scored for Detroit, who has dropped 3 straight. Wah, wah. The Red Wings were without leading scorer Dylan Larkin due to a lower body injury. Alex Lyon started a goal for Detroit, but was relieved by James Reimer for the 3rd period on a night when Avalanche had 54 shots. Detroit coach Derek Lalonde on the loss. Overmatched, overwhelmed a little bit tonight. We let their big guns have too easy of a night. Added defenseman Ben Chiarot. A lot to work on, a lot to correct. We have to get that desperation back that we had. Let's see. Former Red Wings and Avalanche forward Darren Helm dropped the puck ceremonial face-off. He won a Stanley Cup with Detroit in 08 and Colorado in 22. Avalanche also welcomed back Red Wings forward JT Compher with the video tribute in the first period. Compher spent his first 7 NHL seasons in Colorado and helped the team to the 2022 Stanley Cup. Quote, he's a great friend of mine, and it was fun to share all those years with him, Rantanen said, a brother for life. The feeling was mutual. It helps when you win, Compher said. It bonds you forever. So there you go. Congrats to Cale Makars. All right. So the upstart Vancouver Canucks, their goalie Thatcher Demko has been sidelined 2 to 4 weeks. Goaltender Thatcher Demko will be out 2 to 4 weeks with a knee injury. They reported Monday. Demko, 28, leads the NHL with 34 wins, 34-13-2 this season, and has 5 shutouts, a 2.47 goals against average, and a .917 save percentage. Canucks lead the Western Conference with 91 points entering Monday's action. Casey DeSmith will likely be in goal when Vancouver continues a 9-game homestand Wednesday against the Colorado Avalanche. Demko on Monday was named the NHL's 3rd star of the week after going 3-0-0 with a .81 goals against average and a .969 save percentage against the Winnipeg Jets, Vegas Golden Knights, and Los Angeles Kings. Second-round pick in 2014, Demko is in his 7th season with the Canucks and is 115, 80, and 17 with a 2.8 0 goals against average, and a .912 save percentage and 8 shutouts. So hopefully they can keep up their surprise winning season while Thatcher is sidelined. We're going to catch a quick break, actually. We'll be back. You're listening to The Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be back.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Colin Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour, every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter, at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter. At any time, be happy to reply. Always want to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a fan of Buffalo sports? Are you thinking of changing loyalties and becoming a Buffalo sports fan? Do you even know where Buffalo is on the map? Did you know Canada is closer to Buffalo than New York City? Welcome to the Buffalo Huddle, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Patty Bax. This is a podcast designed for you, the passionate sports fan. I know you love your sports. Who doesn't? I cover Buffalo sports and so much more by bringing in the human elements. I call it Buffalo Sports with a Twist. Join me as we take a journey into the world of Buffalo sports. I guarantee you'll fall in love with Buffalo just like I did. Each week we start with an inspiration, question of the day, a Buffalo fun fact, and our weekly challenge to you, the listener. Come huddle up with me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time for the Buffalo Huddle with Patty Bax on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As we say in Buffalo, go Bills!
And we're back here on the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. All right, let's check in on the scores again. We've had some more scoring in tonight's big game, the Florida Panthers versus the Dallas Stars. All right, so now Stars are up 3-0 with about 10 minutes left in the second. Let's see who their scores are coming from. They got a goal from Johnston, Robertson, and Joe Pavelski. Pavelski also has an assist, and Marchment has an assist as well. So, yeah, there you go. That's that one. Elsewhere, Sabres are still up on the Red Wings 7-2. About 8 minutes left to go in that game. All over but the crying, I feel like. Canadians are up on the Blue Jackets 3-0. 6 minutes left to go in the third. Senators and Penguins. Oh, they broke the tie. Senators are up 1-0 now with 3:53 left to go in that game. Flyers are up on the Sharks 3-2 now. 9 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the third. Rangers and Hurricanes. Rangers lead at 1-0. Just about under 3 minutes left to go in that game. Wait a minute. This changed. Maybe they took away the goal. Stars and oh, no, just kidding. They just hadn't updated yet. All right, we're good. Yeah, Dallas and Florida is still 3-0 Stars on that one. Coyotes and Wild are tied at 1 in the second. 8.5 minutes left to go on that one, pretty much. Ducks and Blackhawks tied at 1 at the end of 1. Same with Avalanche and Flames, tied at 1 in the first. About 13.5 minutes left to go on that one. And, yep, still to come tonight, Golden Knights and Kraken. While we're at it, we're going to look at the standings here. So let's see. If the playoffs started today, your Atlantic would look like this: Florida, Boston, Toronto. Metro would look like this: Rangers, Carolina, and Philly, with the wild cards being Tampa Bay and Detroit. Let's see on the West. Well, I guess next ones in contention would be Islanders, Capitals, and Devils, as well as Buffalo and Pittsburgh. On the western half, we got Dallas and Winnipeg and Colorado would be in line for the Central. For the Pacific, we'd have Vancouver, Edmonton, and LA. And for the wild card, you got Nashville and Vegas, with St. Louis, Minnesota, and Seattle in the mix, as well as Calgary. Yeah, as well as Calgary. The only team so far eliminated, Adam, you might want to cover your ears. So far, the only team eliminated from playoff contention was Chicago with 39 points. Which, so does San Jose. They also have 39 points, so they'll probably won't be far behind Chicago on that one. Sad shark noises. There we go. Yep. All right, so But the Red Wings, they have 72 points right now. So if they can just keep it together for another, month, maybe a little more, they can break that playoff drought. Here's hoping. The last week. Oh, goodness. Woof. They haven't beaten anybody since that huge clobbering over Washington 8-3 2 weeks ago, with losses to the Islanders 5-3, losses to Florida 4-0, loss to Colorado 7-2, the aforementioned one where Cale Makars got his hat trick, lost to Arizona 4-0. Come on, guys, get it together. Lost to Vegas 5-3, and they're currently losing to Buffalo 7-2. Well, the next two might be winnable, maybe. Arizona on Thursday at 7, and against Buffalo on Saturday at 12:30. So, yeah, keep it up, guys. How many games you got left here? 18 games left. They finish with a home-and-home against Montreal. About a month from now. So they just need to maintain. Okay, so breaking news today. There's an Atlanta group who has formally requested an NHL expansion franchise. So we'll see what happens. They've had two so far. The Flames before they left for Calgary, and the Thrashers before they left to become the Winnipeg Jets. So maybe third time's the charm. We'll see. This is from Greg Wyshynski, ESPN, today, 4 p.m. Alpharetta Sports and Entertainment Group, formerly fronted by former NHL player Anson Carter, has formally requested that the NHL commence with an expansion process aimed at bringing a franchise to the greater Atlanta area for a third time. Atlanta was previously home to the Flames, 72-80, who relocated to Calgary, and the Thrashers, 99-2011, who moved to Winnipeg. The announcement, published on Tuesday by Sportsnet, states that the group is seeking an NHL team for a new arena designed by architect Frank Gehry that will be part of a larger development at the North Point Mall site in Alpharetta, located about 30 minutes from where the Thrashers used to play. Quote, "I have no doubt that the best league in the world will thrive in its return to Metro Atlanta," said Carter, currently an analyst for TNT Broadcast, said in a statement. I have been in dialogue with NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman since 2019 about an expansion team returning to Fulton County Metro Atlanta market, knowing that franchise decisions are exclusively decided by the NHL Board of Governors, end quote. Among the partners mentioned in the announcement are Neil Liebman of Top Tier Sports, Peter Simon of Simon Sports, Aaron Ziegler of Ziegler Automotive Group, and New York Life Real Estate Investors, who is a partner in the mixed-use land development. In a statement on Tuesday, NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly said the league appreciated the enthusiasm from Carter's group. Quote, "The league appreciates Anson's passion for bringing NHL hockey back to Atlanta, and he has certainly kept on the subject on our radar screen for several years running," Daly said. "Well, as we have made clear, we have no expansion-oriented process in place currently. It's always good to know there's bona fide interest," end quote. Calls to Simon Ziegler and Alpharetta Mayor Jim Gilvin were not returned. Carter is a part owner of the ECHL Atlanta Gladiators hockey team. Carter previously attempted to purchase the Atlantic Hawks Thrasher in their arena in 2011 with a group called Atlanta Sports and Entertainment, but they were declined by the Atlantic Spirit, which owned the teams. There are other groups interested in bringing the NHL to Atlanta. Vernon Krause, a businessman who has proposed building an 18,000-seat arena in mixed-use development in Forsyth County, told WSB-TV that he met with Bettman in New York. Krause said he believes that if the NHL approves expansion, a team could play in its arena beginning in the 27-28 season. Daly told ESPN last September that he was optimistic the third time could be the charm for Atlanta. I think some of the challenges that we've seen in the past in Atlanta can be overcome, he said. I think times have changed pretty dramatically, and the market demographics have changed pretty dramatically since the first time we went there, and then again in '99, he said. I think a lot of bigger businesses are in Atlanta now, end quote. Daly said that the location of the rink will be a key to the success of any potential Atlanta franchise. The Thrashers played in what's now known as State Farm Arena, home of the NBA's Hawks, which is located in the city of Atlanta. Quote, I also think that the rink location will be important with any decision to locate a franchise in Atlanta. I think if you use the Braves as an example, they struggled, as I understand it, attendance-wise for years, even though they had a very successful team on the field. Their latest stadium is a perfect location and it sells out regularly. End quote. Bettman says that expanding beyond 32 teams isn't a priority for the NHL, but cities continue to show interest in joining the league. Utah Jazz owner Ryan Smith and the Smith Entertainment Group announced in January that it formally requested the NHL to start an expansion process for a potential Utah franchise even. Quote, we have no formal expansion process set up. We're listening to the expressions of interest, and I think it's fair to say that the Utah expression of interest has been the most aggressive and that it carried a lot of energy with it, Bettman said at the NHL All-Star Game last month. Tillman Fertitta, owner of the NBA's Houston Rockets, said he's also had discussions with the NHL about bringing a team there. We're talking to the NHL, but it's got to be good for both of us, Fertitta said during an interview with Bloomberg News last month. Well, I think if they're going to do it, well, first off, they only had 30 teams to begin with. So it made total and complete sense to get to 32, just like the NFL has. So that made sense, adding Vegas, a new up-and-coming hot market. Now that sports gambling is legal pretty much around the country, Vegas isn't such a, everybody was so scared to go there for a championship game because, what if it looks like people are gambling on our sport, But they finally got rid of that stigma this year and moved the Super Bowl there, had the Super Bowl there, hosted it. And so Vegas got a franchise in the Golden Knights, and then it made sense to let Seattle have one too, to bring them up to a 32-team league again. Seattle had one, 100 years ago with the Metropolitans. I think they won the first American Stanley Cup. But yeah, I think if they are going to do this, to expand past 32, which I don't know the likelihood on that, it would make sense to do it in pairs, to do, an East and West, or, shift the dividing line between Eastern and Western Conference so everybody's even. Well, I guess it would have to be like 16 and 18 then. But yeah, maybe add Utah and Atlanta at the same time. And then if they wanted to go further, add Houston and Quebec, bring back the Nordiques. It'd be interesting to see what ideas and what possibilities are out there for naming rights. So there you have it. Looks like Atlanta may. Well, they're starting the process anyways to let the NHL know that they definitely want to have a franchise again. Which, it makes sense. They're a huge city. They got the Falcons. They got the Hawks. They got the Braves. They got every other sport. You might as well bring hockey back. And it'd be interesting to do a deeper dive to see what happened with the Flames, with the Thrashers. Why did they both burn out? Why didn't they last? Is it location like the guy said? Is it fan attendance? Is it, not having, successful enough drafts or free agency, so on? It'd be interesting to do a deep dive. Okay, so let's see here. All right. So we talked about Thatcher Demko being out for 2 to 4 weeks. Well, now we know that the NHL is going to suspend the Flyers head coach, John Tortorella, for 2 games. Yeah, but for other reasons. For actions versus the officials. Kristen Schulten, ESPN. Philadelphia Flyers coach John Tortorella was suspended 2 games and fined $50,000 for refusing to leave the bench after receiving a game misconduct and a bench minor. In Saturday's 7-0 loss at the Tampa Bay Lightning, league announced. He will miss home games against the San Jose Sharks and the Toronto Maple Leafs on Tuesday and Thursday, respectively. The Lightning had honored the 20th anniversary of their 2004 Stanley Cup winning team, which was coached by Tortorella prior to Saturday's puck drop. Tortorella didn't even make it through the first period before being penalized at 10:49 when Philadelphia fell behind 4-0. Tortorella became irate when Braden Point scored a power play goal. Oh my gosh, Braden Point got a point? Following a tripping call against Philadelphia defenseman Ronnie Attard. Prior to Point's goal, Lightning forward Michael Isamont was nailed for tripping, but the officials changed their minds and called Attard out instead. With under a minute later, Flyers forward Garnett Hathaway was assessed a 10-minute misconduct for contact with Lightning center Anthony Cirelli during a timeout for a line change. Shortly thereafter, Point scored the goal that gave Tampa Bay a 4-0 advantage and set off Tortorella. Philadelphia's coach expressed his displeasure to referees Wes McCauley and Brandon Schrader over their decision-making and refused to exit the game in a timely fashion. After a few minutes of back-and-forth banter, Tortorella finally retired to the dressing room and was replaced behind the Flyers bench by assistants Brad Shaw and Rocky Thompson. Quote, I think he was just trying to make a point that we felt we might not have been getting our fair shake, Shaw said of Tortorella after the defeat. It's an emotional game at times, and we all get elevated blood pressure. I'm not going to speculate on whether or not it was the right call. It was an emotional game, and West decided that was the right thing to do. That's his decision in the moment, end quote. Flyers players were confused as to why Tortorella was forced out of the game. Quote, I've never seen that, Philadelphia center Sean Couturier said. Did he really deserve to get kicked out? Honestly, after what he said, he didn't say much. End quote. Tortorella will be eligible to return for the Flyers game at the Boston Bruins on Saturday. Well, if anybody knows about John Tortorella, this isn't really out of his character. He's kind of a hothead sometimes. Whew. Wow. Okay, we're going to catch another quick break, and we'll be back to wrap it up here. You are listening to The Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be back after this.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
It's IE Sports Radio. It is your direct feed for all that is sports. It is Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris every Tuesday night right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris is the most comprehensive view on Philadelphia sports exclusively right here on IE Sports Radio. You know what it is, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tuesday night, IE Sports Radio, Philly Sports Talk with Cash and Chris.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Harrison Glazer, and we're coming at you from the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. I cover the Jets, the Islanders, the Nets, and the Yankees.
This is Pierre Moss, and I cover the Mets, Knicks, Rangers, and the Giants.
Our show is live every Wednesday through Spreaker and a bunch of other ways to get our content. Again, we're the Show That Never Sleeps podcast. We talk about all those New York sports. It's a lot of fun. We get into all of it. Please tune in. Again, that's Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
And we look forward to having you guys right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back on the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Once again, I'm your host, Zach Poplis. Adam Canuck has the night off tonight. A couple more things to talk about, and then we'll get out of here for the night. First, we got to do some housekeeping. I want to thank our sponsor, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, low in sugar, and high in protein. This is some of the best jerky you can get your hands on. Some of the best jerky you can get your hands on. Once again, let's see here. Once again, thank you to our sponsor, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet. You can visit them on the web at planetjerky.net or follow them on Twitter at Planet Jerky. A little bit more about us here at the station, IE Sports Radio. For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at IE Sports Radio to keep up on the latest in sports and with our shows. Also, check out our daily updated website, iesportsradio.com, for sports news, IE Sports Radio blog, our Hall of Fame Fans of the Month page is dedicated to each podcast, our IE Sports Radio community forum, and stop by the shop and check out the merch. Thank you all for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. Woo-woo! All right. Oh, while we're at it, before I forget, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow the show at IESR Neutral Zone or myself at The Pupless. All right. A couple more topics to get out of the way before we get out of here tonight. Flames drop Topi Ronnie after 1-year prison sentence for rape. That just came out tonight, about almost 3 hours ago, from ESPN and the Associated Press. The Calgary Flames renounced their rights to draft pick Topi Ronnie on Tuesday after the 19-year-old was sentenced in his native Finland for a rape that occurred when he was a minor. Ronnie was given a 1-year suspended prison sentence by the District Court of Helsinki. His Finnish Elite League team announced Tuesday. The team, Tampere, said it has terminated his contract. The Flames, who drafted Ronnie 59th overall in the 2022 NHL draft, announced later they had dropped him. Ronnie apologized in a statement on Tampere's website. Ronnie was charged in October. His Finnish team said then he would step away from team activities during the investigation. Incident occurred back in 2021. Details of the allegations against Ronnie were not known because the case documents were sealed. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we also have another sponsor here. Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? ? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. Find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps or on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals. You can also, if you're not listening on Spreaker tonight, you can also find us later on under the podcast sections at Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, GeoSavin, YouTube, and your personal page, and all of our personal pages on the IE Sports Radio website. So, there you go. Okay, so we got a college hockey update real quick. And then we'll talk about the trade deadline, and we'll get out of here for the night. Oh, actually, speaking of college hockey, so the men's side, they're still in conference tournament time. Those are still going on. But the women's side has a bracket completed. Road to the Women's Frozen Four, breaking down the NCAA field. Here we go. So, 11-team field for the 2024 NCAA Women's Hockey Tournament is set, with the Frozen Four to be held March 22nd and 24th at the Whitmore Center in Durham, New Hampshire. The top two seeds, Ohio State and Wisconsin, were the last two teams standing last season, with the Badgers beating the Buckeyes 1-0 for the national title. The teams have combined to win the past four NCAA tournaments, with the Badgers taking the title in 2023, 2021, and 2019. The Buckeyes winning it all in 2022. The tournament was not held in 2020 because of COVID. So, wow. Combined to win the past four. My goodness. Two teams. Talk about double dynasties. Well, more so a dynasty on the Badgers' part, but yeah. NCAA field consists of the 5 conference champions from the CHA, the ECAC, the Hockey East, the NUHA, and the WCHA, plus 6 at-large teams based on the pairwise rankings. Top 5 seeds have a first-round bye, with the other 6 teams squaring off March 14th. Regional finals will be hosted by the top 4 seeds on March 16th. So first round starts Thursday. Minnesota Duluth, number 8 versus number 9 UConn, 7 p.m. Number 6 Cornell versus number 11 Stonehill, 7 p.m. And number 7 St. Lawrence versus number 10 Penn State at 8 p.m. Regional finals, March 16th. We've got Minnesota, number 5 versus number 4 Clarkson at 3 p.m. The Cornell Stonehill winner at number 3 Colgate at 3 p.m. The St. Lawrence and Penn State winner at number 2 Wisconsin, and the the Minnesota Duluth and UConn winner at number 1 Ohio State, 4 p.m. So with the Frozen Four, like they said, March 22nd for the semifinals and March 24th for the championship. So that'll be coming up real quick here. As for the men's side, like I said, they're still in the conference tournament time. We do have some updates, however. On the men's side, there's 16 spots overall. They are, I think they said 6. Let's see here. 6 automatic berths, and everything else is at large based on the pairwise rankings. So 10 at large, 6 automatics. The Atlantic is down to the semifinals. That'll be this weekend. AIC, American International College at Holy Cross. Niagara at RIT. I forget what that means, but yeah. Big Ten is down to the semis. Ohio State at number 1 Michigan State on Saturday, 6:30 p.m. And Michigan at Minnesota. The CCHA down to the semis as well. They got Lake Superior State at Bemidji State, Minnesota State at Michigan Tech. ECAC down to the quarters. RPI, I think it's Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, at number 1 Quinnipiac, Harvard at number 2 Cornell, St. Lawrence at number 3 Colgate, Union at number 4 Dartmouth. Hockey East, first round starts tomorrow. UMass Lowell at New Hampshire, Merrimack at Northeastern, Vermont at UConn, UMass at Providence, and then to be determined at Boston College, to be determined at Boston U, and to be determined at number 3 Maine. As far as the NCHC, number 8 Miami versus number 1 North Dakota, Minnesota Duluth at number 2 Denver, Western Michigan at St. Cloud State, and Omaha at Colorado College. Oh, there's where Western wound up. Western used to be with us in the CCHA. So yeah, there's going to be 6 automatic berths, and the other are the top 10 based off of the pairwise rankings. It's at 10 at-large teams. So we'll give you another update on that next week as things progress. All right, lastly, we've got some trade deadline news. And actually, we'll look at the scores here one more time before we head out of here tonight. Okay, end of second, we got Stars up 3-1 on the Panthers now. At the end of second, we've got Wild and Coyotes. Wilds are up 2-1. In the second period, with about 6.5 minutes left, we got Blackhawks that are up 3-2 over the Ducks. At the end of one, we got Flames and Avalanche. Flames are up 2-1. Still to come tonight, Golden Knights and Kraken at 10 p.m. All right, a couple games have gone final. Sabres beat the Red Wings 7-3, like I said, all over but the crying. Canadians beat the Blue Jackets 3-0. Senators beat the Penguins 2-1. Oh, it did go into overtime, as I suspected it might, but wow, nice. Flyers beat the Sharks 3-2. That might seal the deal for the Sharks, making them eliminated from playoff contention. We'll have to take a look. And the Rangers beat the Hurricanes. So there you have it. Did the Sharks get eliminated now? No, they're not eliminated yet. Well, shucks. Give it a couple more games. Probably won't take long. Oh no, that pushed Detroit out of the wild card spot, though. Crap, the Islanders have it right now. That's no bueno. Well, they need to get it together then. Goodness. All right, real briefly, we're going to do some trade deadline news, and then we'll get out of here for the night. Sharks and Devils did a trade. Sharks get goalie Vita Vanacek and a 2025 7th-round pick. Devils get Kaapo Kakkonen. Let's see here. Golden Knights and Sharks traded. Golden Knights get center Thomas Hertl, plus a 2025 third-rounder, plus a 2027 third-rounder. Sharks get forward David Edstrom, plus a 2025 first-rounder, and they retain 17%. It's so random. 17% of Hertl's salary. Wow. Nothing huge yet. Sharks and Red Wings traded. Sharks get forward Klim Kostin. Red Wings get defenseman Radim Simek and a 2024 7th-rounder through New Jersey. Yeah, nothing monumental, nothing earth-shattering from what I'm seeing. We can talk more next week, but yeah. All right, there's the horn. That means it's time to get out of here for the night. Time for me to shut my yapper. But we want to thank Adam Canuck, of course. We want to thank everybody at the station. We want to thank Taryn and Larry and Cecilia and everybody. And once again, thanks to our sponsors, Planet Jerky and Wax Seals by Cecilia. Seal the Deal, Wax Seals by Cecilia. So thanks to all of them, and we will catch up with you guys more next week. Adam will be back. We'll talk more, see if they have any more trade deadline news that popped up, and talk some more college hockey. I think he said he had some professional women's hockey league to talk about as well. So, all right, until then, we'll see you guys later. Have a great night, and be safe. Don't get checked into the boards. Protect your 5-hole. And as always, light the lamp. Have a good night.